Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. My name is Clayts. This is Clayts FM and FM21 is so close to being released now. It is just around the corner. I'm super excited, made even more excited by the fact that Miles and SI and Football Manager, the Twitter account, have been tweeting out loads of new stuff, loads of new features, talking about the match engine, talking about regen player faces, all these types of things. And during my streams this week, I've been taking a little look at some of these features and reacting to them. This video is just my thoughts on some of the new features for the new game, which is so close. So I thought I'd share it with you. That's what today's video is. Enjoy. Football Manager have tweeted, Match Engine AI in FM21. The extra level of depth that we've introduced to decision making has led to improvements across the pitch. Nice. Match Engine AI in FM21. Football might be known as the beautiful game, but it is often chaotic and unpredictable with frequent changes. Yes. Fluid movement on the pitch, endless battles. Yeah. In this blog, we're going to be covering every area of the pitch, including decision making, defensive awareness, attacking in the final third, central play, and goalkeeper intelligence. This is a big one. I'm looking for some better goalkeeper intelligence. That could be cool. Also, even things like decision making. Does that mean pulling the ball, like cutting the ball back? Attacking in the final third, defensive awareness. Yeah, this is huge. If these things are actually improved, this is huge. Like attacking in the final third, one-on-ones, decision making, cutbacks, squaring the ball. This is exactly what it is. Does that mean my striker with 18 finishing and composure won't p-roller it? Let's hope so. That's that, isn't it? Match Engine AI in FM21 decision making. Part of what makes the Match Engine in Football Manager so realistic is the fact that the players and officials will each be making a decision every quarter of a second, which we call a slice. This constant stream of decision making means that each player continually assesses the situation around them and performs the action that they think is best based on their attributes, which is like why good players with good attributes actually are good. It's not just a set amount of things that happen, which is why this match engine is a match engine, and it's not. This is why you can't have FIFA graphics, isn't it? In FM21, decision making is more nuanced than ever before. Great use of the word nuance for me there. Players in the engine will now be able to change their original decision mid-slice. So what do they call a slice? Quarter of a second. So every eighth of a second they can change their mind. That's quite good, to be fair. This allows your players to be more reactive and make faster decisions, which leads to more realistic match experience with more fluidity and a greater variety of actions performed across the 90 minutes as a result. The overhaul to decision making works hand in hand with the improvements that the animation and match AI teams have made to animation system. That's good. So they're going to have new animations. I think in one of those teaser little tweets in one of the videos, you could see that it looked different, the match engine. There were some aesthetic differences too, which is to do with the animations, won't it? Rework several elements of the decision-making code to supply the best information from the AI into the animation system so that those animations look better and smoother in action. It did look pretty good in the little clips, it did. So decision-making, basically now what they're saying that they're going to make twice as many decisions as before. That sounds good to me. I like the sound of that. Right, defensive awareness. One of the most impressive examples of the improvements to player decision-making is marking in FM21. With the improved decision-making, defenders can now react more intelligently to attacking movement and can pass their marking duties onto another defender while they move to close down another. I like this. Player will follow a player all the way across, even though there's a better player that could go and tackle that person or close him down, because they're kind of like locked on at the moment in FM20. This means that they won't lock on. They'll change and not be just stuck in their movements that they're doing. That's a good thing. Defenders now more adaptive when facing long balls forward and will contest aerial batters more frequently in these situations to try and avoid being left exposed by a flick on. What this makes me think is that a tactic like the spanner with 3 strikers won't work as well, because they'll be able to react to that and change what they're doing. Won't be overwhelmed by 3 strikers all running at them. But that's good. That's really positive. We like that. Attacking in the final third. Because of the extensive improvements we've made to the defensive AI, we've also had to bolster attacking AI to keep everything fairly balanced. Specifically, we've worked on improving the movement and variety of play in the final third to give attackers more tools to try and get the better of their defensive counterparts. Does it say anything about like cutting the ball back and one-on-ones or anything? Let's start with attacking movement. We focused a lot of attention on improving the positioning of both AMCs. That's good. Basically, attacking midfielders didn't exist in this year's match engine. They were a myth. I don't think an attacking midfielder was a thing. So that's good. If they've improved the position of those, we like that. Depending on their role, they will now look to come to the ball more often, offer support for teammates on the ball, drag defenders out of position. They might actually do their job here. Focusing play down either or both flanks or through the middle will now feature more obvious attacking movement as teams will look to overload certain areas. Okay, so if you're actually changing things, so if you make a tweak, which is like focus down the right, hopefully you'll be able to see it even more in the match engine now. In general, FM21 sees more movement in the final third as attackers look to create space or exploit gaps in the defensive line. Good. There are a few things more satisfying in football than a perfectly weighted through ball, and in FM21 you'll notice more attempted through balls being played in the final third as well. Of course, not all of them will be successful. Do you know what this just makes me imagine? I can literally imagine the through balls that are not successful and how frustrating they're going to be. Let's hope that they're not like super common. But if you're lucky to have one of the best passes at your disposal, you should find it much easier to unlock defences. All right, that makes me think, make sure you've got good passes in your teams. It's not just the build-up play that's been enhanced in FM21. There have been more notable changes to play inside the area too. Players are much more aware of how much time they have to shoot and have better spatial awareness. Great, that's good. Hopefully that means, especially in one-on-one situations. Come on. They've specifically mentioned it, meaning that they have definitely looked at making sure that one-on-ones are better. You know those ones where they are in on goal and they just pass it to the keeper, or right at the start of FM20 where they would just miss every one-on-one and never score? Hopefully this means that if they've got loads of time, they'll just pick their spot and put it into the back of the net. Literally, Henry in the showdown. Hopefully they'll put it in the back of the net. Speaking of which, when one-on-one with the keeper, players will make better shot selections based on their angle to the goal and the position of the goalkeeper. You're likely to see more dinks over the goalkeeper this year. Shot selection and spatial awareness are tied into the player's attributes, so more skillful players will have a wider variety of shots at their disposal and know exactly how much space they have to work in. Love that. Brilliant. Perfect. That's what we wanted, wasn't it? Like, when you say match engine, you want one-on-ones to be fixed, you want the ball to be cut back. Hopefully both of those kind of come into this. You'll also see a high percentage of players passing and not shooting from tight angles. There it is. That's the cutbacks right there. Players passing and not shooting from tight angles. Depending on your tactical setup and the player concerned, some just want to try and score from anywhere as they do in real life too. Fair enough. But if you tell them not to, hopefully now they start squaring the ball, not shooting from tight angles. This is literally what you wanted. Attacking players will also go to ground more easily in the box, and not always if they felt some contact from a defender. You'll see them appeal for penalties to the referee for good measure as well. Realistic, that's good. Right, there's a VAR. There is a VAR paragraph here. Apparently this is controversial. Right. There are more factors taken into account when VAR is used too. Previously, referees would have a very high percentage chance of making the correct decision when using VAR in FM, but as we've seen in the real world, there are some instances where VAR is subjective and referees don't always make the decision that the majority would deem to be the right one. So in FM21, referees will sometimes be more subjective when using VAR for anything other than offside calls, and you'll see inconsistencies from one referee to the next when making calls on similar scenarios just in real life. I don't know what to make of that. What you have to remember is FM is a simulator of real life, and this is real life. But how frustrating is this going to be? In a way, I kind of love the anarchy of it. But seeing like penalty decisions which never are being given because the referee is going to be so frustrated when you've got your team all set up. It's going to be funny to watch. I guess so. Be really good if that was a toggle to turn on or off, like VAR, maybe. So they've programmed in the referee to make the wrong decisions sometimes because that's realistic. At least not offsides. That's true. Because you know how frustrated I get with offside decisions. But I guess it's not for offsides. Anything other than offside calls, which is good. I don't mind. I like the drama of it and the theatre of it. I can see it being so frustrating for people though. One other addition when it comes to offsides, players will now be more aware of when they're in an obviously offside decision and will avoid engaging with the ball as a result. Nice. That is nice. That's good. That means that they'll leave it if they're offside, that's a good thing. Central play. In FM20, we felt that the midfield action was being bypassed too often, and that the play that did take place in the midfield of the pitch didn't do enough to reflect the frequently chaotic nature of the midfield battles we see taking place week in, week out in real life. Yeah, even in the system that I'm playing now, they literally get the ball in midfield and just smash it forward, don't they? So, okay, this something was echoed in the feedback from you, the FM community, which is why it became a major focus for us to improve this year. For FM21, we've placed a greater emphasis on central play that results in a more authentic flow to events in central areas. We like it, we'll take that. Firstly, movement in the centre of the pitch has been reworked for FM21. One of the most obvious examples of this is the way that they have increased the number of interceptions across the pitch, but particularly in midfield areas. That sounds frustrating, but okay. Players now actively look to block passing lanes rather than following the movement of the ball. I love how they're using words like passing lanes. FM's brought in XG and now passing lanes. It's amazing. This brings the number of interceptions in our match engine more in line with the numbers you'd see during a real match. Perfect. I mean, more like real life. We like that. We've also rebalanced risks taken from players in central areas. The entire philosophy around central play is now built around getting the most impactful attacking players on the ball quicker, which means certain players will look to play riskier, more direct passes into teammates occupying central attacking areas. So if you've got good players, they'll risk trying to get the ball to them quicker. I like that. This in part due to the reworking of the focus play down the middle team instruction, which now places greater emphasis on those progressive central passes. Nice. I think that's all good. The interception is going to be really frustrating watching your own team, I think. But it's realistic. So again, I don't think you can complain about it. I think it's a good thing. But you can see like your players giving the ball away. You're like, get him off. You're gonna do mad subs because people are giving the ball away loads. Defenders are also now more aware of the threat of play in central areas and will react more instinctively to those scenarios, which will lead to even more interceptions as a result. Good. Last but by no means least, we turn our attention to the heroes between the sticks. Goalkeepers in FM21 will be quicker to go to ground in certain situations. For example, if they decide that the best option to prevent a low shot or to cut off space in front of the attacker, so they'll go to ground. That's realistic. It's not just outfield players who gain from improvements in decision making either, so keeper decisions have been improved. That's also good. Goalkeepers are much more conscious of the time that they have to position themselves for an opponent's shot. When attackers are in or around the box, good goalkeepers will look for players who are setting up to shoot or will set themselves accordingly. Good. That will make lower league tactics different, I hope, as well. This will definitely change how lower league tactics are going to have to be set up, which I also like. You can't just go and play like a mad gegenpress in League 2, which is a good thing, I think. In FM21, you're more likely to try and make aerial interceptions by coming out to claim crosses. Depending on their attributes, may look to punch the ball more often. Good. FM's glovesman will also now take weather conditions into account. That's mad. Something I hadn't even thought about. If it's wet and windy, they're more likely to punch it. That's really good. We love that. So like looking out now and thinking like where you aim your crosses if it's a wet and windy day. Literally, away at Stoke on a Tuesday night now, you can aim to hang crosses up in the air. Love that. Goalkeepers in particular also benefit from improvements to the match rating system. Come on. Yes. You're going to get goalkeepers that get above a 7. What is this? Not every single goalkeeper is going to get a 6.8 and be your best player, but it's still getting a 6.8. That's really good. I'm glad that they've looked at that and seen that as an issue too. Really nice. And then the final word, the improvements of the AI in FM21's match engine will be immediately noticeable from the moment you enter your first match. The action will feel more unpredictable and fluid and will simply put be a more realistic simulation of football than ever before. It's what we said. We want it to be it is a simulation. We want it to be realistic. Good. The extra level of depth that we've introduced to decision making has led to improvements across the pitch with new variations in player movement, a refined marking system, a renewed focus on midfield action, and goalkeepers that are more adapted to the environment around them. We can't wait for you to get stuck into FM21's match experience to see the effects of all our work for yourselves. And don't worry, we'll be showing you the match engine in all its glory in the coming days. The ... makes me think that we're getting the beta soon. The ... makes me think, come on. Bring it out this week. They want to do it. They do. What do you reckon, chat? So those were some of my thoughts on the brand new features for FM21, which is just about to be released. We're really excited. I will be doing a Chelsea beta save. As soon as that drops, that will be live over on Twitch. with a game recorded at the end of each stream, which will then be uploaded to YouTube as an episode over here. And it should make its own episode as well. It won't just be highlights from the Twitch stream. So keep an eye out for that. That will be coming to YouTube very, very soon too. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed my little video there talking about some of the new features, found it interesting, maybe it saved you having to read through some of the long pieces, that type of thing. But I'll end today's video there. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you did enjoy, please do make sure you hit that like button. And if you aren't already subscribed, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. More stuff like this coming soon. And also, as I said, that brand new FM21 content is soon to be here. Let's, keep counting down the hours, the minutes, the days. We'll get there soon. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye.